you took half of mine. We just swapped.
I'll be honest, right? And if you take half of my, I'd have made a lot of fucking money in my life.
Right.
I'd have lost a lot of fucking money.
Come on now, talk.
But I made the shit back, and I lost it again.
Come on.
And I made the shit back. So if you take the shit, I'm gonna make it again.
Come on.
Right? So like for me, it's not about half of the shit anymore. Right? It's really like, and I'm looking at just wealth as our community in total. And I was blessed to even come across a video for somebody who actually broke down the stats of our community equating to the wealth and the percentage of marriages. We are at the bottom in America.
Hell yeah.
At about 30% marriage rate.
Yeah.
Right? The top is, I think he said, East Indians. It's
Yep.
about 90
The
plus,
arranged marriage.
95.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And which I did business with an arranged marriage Indian family, and them, they good.
Come
They
on.
taught me a lot, right?
Come on.
But when I look at the cultural perspectives and the dynamics, I feel like we get so worried about you taking half of our shit. First of all, if I tell you that half of the people here in America that are African American don't make more in the household than 55,000,
Yeah.
what is you taking?
Exactly.
So the real
25.
But fuck the 25.
Fuck the 25.
Yo, that 25 is actually our poverty line. So realistically, with or without it, we in poverty.
Yeah.
But see,
So now,
you-
but wait, hold on.
Okay.
I'm at the land, right? So what I'm trying to say is we're so worried about losing shit that we're not building shit.
Exactly.
And
Take
this is-
half
and
of
this-
the shit that,
Yo,
like, if you've been
my
around for a
thing
long
is,
time.
like obviously have the discernment.
Yeah.
Make sure she ain't no, you know what I'm saying, no slouch. She's gonna represent you, your family, and whatever it is that y'all
Right.
got planned together, the legacy, the name, all of those things. But at the same time, if you scared to lose, you'll never win. I don't care if it's business or a relationship.
That's a fact.
Rico,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
you said life
Financial
insurance?
trauma.
Huh?
You said life insurance?
I do not. I have it though.
Huh?
I have it. I don't sell it. I got
Man,
it.
look.
But listen, 'cause that's what you selling me, a wolf ticket right now. Okay? that little resilient, get it. I lost it, got it back. You gonna need that for them reocurring payments every month.
And look, you know
So
what I
hold
don't
on,
understand,
let
man.
me finish. Let me finish.
Yeah,
here.
you
You
right.
wasn't land?
Because see, I like Rico. I
taking
watch a
off.
lot of his content, but see that advice there, that's lazy. Cause that's the insurance policy. Give me money and just hope that something happen or don't happen. And I'm just just feeding it to you. Just feeding it to you.
I don't know, ladies. It sounds like you need to get you a up north nigga, because them down south niggas don't share.
Yeah,
Just trying
dog.
to
We
figure it out,
But up
like-
north niggas don't play, so you gotta pick and choose your
Up
battle.
north
They
niggas
do not
do
up north.
When you with us, you're not walking around like that. It don't equate the same.
Do y'all think that there's no case where taking half is okay? I think if you've been with me for a certain amount of time, you can take half or whatever. Because for one, I don't want you to be dealing with nobody else that might be abusing my kids.
Yeah.
You know, because you're trying to go for the upper.
Why
And
you
now
worry
this
about her
person looking at
safety?
you. You feel me?
Why you care about her safety?
Why you care about her
My
safety?
kids,
Because your
listen.
kids are
She
still.
chose
no.
to lead your leadership, and you want to reward her?
No,
kids.
I think
You have a
if
legacy
you
to
come
protect.
into a scenario
sure.
I couldn't
where
stand that, man.
you already rich and she was not, she
Yeah,
don't
and that's
really-
different.
You know what I'm saying? Then that's a conversation.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
conversation.
you might have to prenup, protect yourself, but that's a conversation.
Yeah.
But if she helped you build your empire,
Take
if
half
she
of
was
this
with
shit.
you shooting in the gym,
Take
and
I
you
hate
know what
that
that
Well,
is.
she gotta
I'ma build it
Okay,
up.
so
Wait, she
Paul,
gotta actually
hold on.
shoot.
Let's set the
That's what I'm
scene.
saying.
Let's
I don't
set
need a
the scene.
cheerleader.
No,
I need a
JT
shooter.
Exactly.
JT owns a company called Capital Marketing and Promotions.
Right.
The primary client for Capital Marketing and Promotions, one of the primary clients is the Randy Rosario brand.
Okay.
I've helped to make his company, the Capital
Facts.
brand. I brought it notoriety and I brought it income.
Right.
If we were to separate or divorce, am I not entitled to part
Absolutely.
of
you
that? So
are.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Because you
it's
have
some-
put in the sweat equity.
Yeah.
A lot of
Put 'em in the
women
gym.
just sit home and do what they would
I
have did
agree.
anyway.
But be clear. Sitting at home sometimes often equates to giving you the opportunity to
That's
be out
a
here
fact.
doing your
But
thing.
that's a
Pause.
fact.
Let me finish.
That's a
Cleaning the
fact.
Because
house,
there we go,
folding,
Ash.
washing
'Cause I value
Ash,
peace.
there's-
I value
hold on one
emotional-
second, Ash. What are you saying now?
There's so much emotional labor that goes into taking care of a man. You
agree.
can make
I
all the
agree.
noises
We
you
don't
want
get
to.
paid for that.
That's
You
a
don't have,
conversation.
but it has to be done. And I'm freeing up brain space for you. I'm giving you creative power that you would not have otherwise. I'm making sure that you have the capacity to do the things you need to do in business to support us by taking these tasks off your heads. Now you can go pay somebody to do these things if you want to, but you're still paying. In the same way that you would make an investment into any business, you make an investment into that relationship.
It becomes prostitution. Because first of all,
How is it any different than investing money into
I'm
a
paying you
firm?
to take care of your kids, and you'll let me hit it now. and then.
Our
It's
children.
prostitution at
It's
that
not
It's a
prostitution.
babysitter.
It's a forever prostitute.
My thing is
What
this.
up?
I agree with him on this one, right? So like, Brandy, you and your husband have a great dynamic team
together.
Everything, right? It's different.
What bullshit you about to say?
You putting in the work.
Yeah, okay.
All these other women ain't putting in the work.
I know a lot of women that's doing more work than men, but
I can tell you like this, in my house, and God, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I pay for this, and it works. I haven't had a job in 8 years.
Amen.
Right?
on
And
now.
I don't have a 9-to-5 life. So I'm with my kids the same amount as my girls with the kids. Ain't no, I'm leaving, like, obviously right here, yeah, but come on, I done flew out, maybe 4 or 5 weekends to do work this year.
Yeah.
Everything else, I done got an office around the corner from the crib. I'm doing everything to make sure that I can actually make time for my kids, because I don't want to be a working father. I want to be an active parent, right? So because I have that emotional labor, it doesn't exist in my household.
When you were building that legacy, though, when you were getting to this point, did you still have that same luxury, or was she keeping the kids?
I had this luxury since I was 25 years old, so this was before she even came.
Before you had kids.
Before I even had kids, I had this, right?
So you didn't have to deal with a lot of those elements. You were able to get yourself to a position, which is the way you're supposed to do it. A lot of times we rush through these things and we end up in positions where now we have to backtrack and find ways to mediate the situations we put ourselves in.
So in a scenario like that, she's not entitled to half. 'Cause you was already had this going, right?
You get what I'm saying? And not only did I have it going, but I'm a good man that can balance. So if a man can balance his life and his work, I think it's different than a man who's prioritizing his work to sacrifice his life, right? There's a difference, because some men have to do it, right?
You're speaking out of privilege.
See, with my wife,
most men have
it's
to
not
do it.
privilege. It
is
a
a privilege you have.
See, what you saying, my wife, she wanted the last 2 kids, okay? So
How many kids you got?
I got 3.
Okay.
So she wanted the last 2.
Okay.
So wasn't no way I made her quit her job. Because wasn't no way I was gonna keep the kids and work while you go to work, and I had to take care of them. So you get to keep your check, and I just no. So you got to quit your job, and I don't think if we leave, you entitled to half of the money for the seasons that you want. Yeah.
You had a good time having sex with her to make them kids. Stop fucking playing with me.
Well, listen,
You could have
Sure?
said no.
He said, remember, he said you gotta like his conversation more.
No,
than you did.
hold on. No,
man.
I hate when y'all do this. Every time we have sex, the goal ain't to have kids. It's to bust a nut.
And what does a nut do?
depending where you put it.
Yeah,
Depending where you put it.
you know what I'm saying?
All right, you know where you put it.
Okay, wait. Let's reset the room. I want to ask Ash a question. You've been in a relationship. This is me setting it. This is a scenario. I don't know shit about her personal life. You've been in a relationship for 3 years. You and your man are on the up and up. Y'all doing good, or woman. I don't know what you into. Y'all doing good, and he proposes. You go to set a wedding date, and he doesn't want to give you an actual date. He doesn't want to actually plan an actual date. He's like, oh, let's just go with the flow type thing. What's your next move?
The first thing I need to know why. Why do you not want to set a date? And I'm hitting that head on because you're not going to keep evading me. So why do you not want to have a date? If I ask that question and I don't get a clear answer, now we're on a ticking time clock because I'm not interested. Again, I said 2, 3, 3. That's 2 weeks to plan a date. That's 2 years to date and figure out the exclusivity. And then there's 2 years for engagement. It doesn't have to be 2 years, but it takes wedding venues, it takes a long time. So I'm giving it that span of time. I'm not going to be in these spaces for longer than that because I know what I'm trying to do in this. And if you give me ambiguity, all I can think at that point is that I'm going to have this happen throughout our relationship. And so now I don't trust your leadership because you're not consistent and you're not confident in the decisions you're making, at least it pertains to me.
You gonna question my leadership on
if you
your
can't
time
give
frame?
me a wedding date, I don't trust your leadership. No. How you gonna propose to me and then not be able to give me a
That's
date?
your time frame.
You didn't give me another date.
What if mine was 666?
Did you give me that date?
Hold
Tell me let's go with the
Hold on,
flow,
you
'cause that's
goddamn
two
devil.
different-
No, I'm just
Skip it
saying.
past it. No. If you gave me a time frame, if I say I want to get married in 2 years and you say, baby, I need 3 or 4 years, I'm gonna ask you why. If you can give me a reasonable answer, that's a different
But he
conversation.
Why do
only
you need
telling
2?
That's my time frame.
No, but why? So you want him to explain himself, but you got to explain yours too. You can't ask for something from somebody but not willing to do the same thing. So if you say that 6 is good or 6 ain't good, I need to know your reason. And he says, all right, well 2 is too fast. I need to know your reason. What's your reason?
Again, as I said, I was taught if you get ready to propose to a woman, you need to be ready to get married that same day.
But
so the day you
woman
asked
told
me to
you
marry
that.
me.
She ain't no proposal
You don't know
to
who told
nobody.
me that.
You said your grandma told you that.
Oh, she did. You're right.
Damn. That's why you gotta be quiet sometimes.
Your grandma ain't never had to take care of a nigga before.
My
She
grandmother
don't
was
know the
married
responsibility
until
that
my
come
grandfather
with it.
passed. Both of my grandparents were married and
No,
widowed,
I
so-
know. I'm saying your grandma could tell you something like that because she don't have the responsibility and the burden of taking care of a whole fucking family.
What are you talking about?
She can only tell you about the other side.
The receiving end. But
I'm
now
a
the real
woman, so what I was taught in my experience may be different from yours. But you asked me what my experience and my reason
So my
was.
question to you is,
Can I just
is
ask one
if
question?
he doesn't meet it, if he doesn't meet the timeline, and he gives you a legitimate reason that's legitimate for him, like your reason is legitimate for you, but that doesn't work for you, you just walk away from that relationship?
If he gives me a legitimate reason that doesn't work for me, it really is contextual because it depends on the reason.
Yeah, it depends on the
I
person.
need
I'm
to
about to
know
say,
what
if
the
you
reason
him, like,
is.
you
to
can wait
know
10
how I
years.
would go
What
from
if
there.
the
Wait till you
okay?
get to
Let's
know
say
it.
the reason is like what we said earlier. Let's say they're like, oh, let me just finish this master's program.
That's reasonable. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Now let me. I don't want to ask you this question because it's not. I don't want to make it personal. But my issue when I hear things like that is, a lot of women want to compare with their mother or their grandmother. You know, the expectations that they set, but they're half the woman of that woman.
Woo! That's
You have
fair.
you not you, but you can be half the woman of your grandmother that taught you this.
Or
you can be half the woman of your mother that taught you this. So you're not willing to do what they were willing to do. Your threshold is so far beneath that
That's
you
crazy.
don't have
Go.
the luxury to buy that time
Go.
that they bought. You know,
I'll
that's
give you
my
an experience. My very last relationship, the way that it went was that man told me very early on he planned to marry me. He wanted to be married. We had these conversations. He was very clear about the fact that he wanted to reach certain financial goals before we got to that point. I made a point to make sure he was reaching those goals. By the time I left that relationship off, he was 10 times better than when I came into the relationship. I was the person that decided to end the relationship anyway. So it was okay, but what I'm saying is I'm not less than anything.
You know what you
I'm
sound
going
like?
to, if you tell me that this is your goal as a woman, as the other half in this partnership, my job is to get you there. It's not just about doing laundry, it's not just about fucking, it's not just about raising kids. It's about being an actual partner in this unit.
No, we not
And-
partners. Stop saying that.
You not partners.
Listen, no, don't nobody listen, bro. When you get with a dude, you want somebody that's smarter, that got more money, that's stronger, that got better leadership skills. We ain't partners, baby.
When I left the
I'm up
relationship,
here,
he
you
was
right here,
smarter,
I'm
he
your
was making
superior.
more money, his leadership skills were better, his decision making was better, and that's not from my opinion. I could call him, he'll tell you the same thing.
it wasn't because he couldn't get there.
Then why didn't he get there before me?
He would have
I'm
eventually
saying
got
that
there.
it wasn't better.
No, that's not necessarily true. You said he'd eventually got there. That's not necessarily
No,
true.
no,
When I
no.
tell
I'm
you-
saying he wasn't
I'm
better.
not talking about
He
Tukay.
wasn't what he was saying, in my opinion. And I don't know the situation. I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. If somebody is better, you are a addition. You are not the backbone.
That sound like they-
Women are multipliers by nature. That's what we do.
Nah, man, that's having kids.
But
That's
multi-
across the board.
That's across the board,
But
it is.
women have to understand that being a
That's technically-
multiplier and being a foundation is not the same.
Whew.
Right? So you are his foundation. You are not his multiplier. You didn't take something that he had and amplified it. You actually gave him structure because he didn't have it.
I would say the contrary. I didn't build his foundation. He is who he is. I came in and multiplied his abilities and gave him the position and confidence and space to do more with what he already had.
You're
I
giv-
do think that there's a scenario what you're saying exists. And I don't know if that necessarily applies to her scenario, but I have been that person. I've been that woman that got into a situation, saw somebody's potential, and said, "Oh, your goals are to own your own studio, to be a Grammy-nominated studio engineer, and to do this. Oh, let me hit the pavement and help you out." And that's where women fuck up.
Exactly.
Let these niggas do what they need to do on their own. Let these men literally establish their own identity,
Yeah, we got to.
figure out who they are,
We got
figure
to.
out what they want out of life, and then you build with them.
Yeah.
You do not get with somebody who's still trying to put the puzzle pieces together and
Facts.
don't even have all the puzzle pieces.
That's a fact.
That's where we drop the ball at so often. And it was almost a trigger when you talked about men dating potential, because it's like, bro, we can't all be out here just, oh, you cool, you cute, oh, you might work, oh, that might work. We can't all be out here just all over the place.
We gotta have
So
attention.
somebody has to lead the situation, and I really feel like that this is the reason why it's so much piss in the dating pool, and we all talk about the pissy ass dating pool, because in reality, instead of us focusing on ourselves, looking within, getting ourselves together, we will literally be like, oh, I'm gonna date you, 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 and then we become sad pissed.